Hello and welcome to Younger Gymnasium in beautiful Havertown, Pennsylvania. I am Tommy Toohill with my great friend Brendan McNichol, and tonight we got a good one, folks. We have the rival Upper Darby Royals coming over Lansdowne Avenue into Havertown, Pennsylvania to take on the Fords here in some Central League boys basketball action here. We will be right back. We apologize for getting up late due to technical difficulties. For Haverford Sports Media, I am Tommy Toohill, Brendan McNichol. Starting lineups and national anthem are underway. Well, Brendan, if that doesn't get a little bit of adrenaline pumping through your veins, you might have to check your pulse, my friend.
Yes, I'm very excited for tonight. It's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, it should be. Now, a little history into what happened last year. These two teams played. Ford swept the season series last year against the Royals, beating them 66-46 in Upper Darby. They shot the three ball very well that night. Believe Nick Colucci and Gugi Simon both had career nights. And then last year in Younger Gymnasium, when the Royals came over across Lansdowne Ave, it was a tighter game. It was 58-50. So far in the season here for the Royals, you want to talk a little bit about their season, Brendan?
Yeah, no, so the Royals right now are 2-1. Started off with a big win over Interborough, 71-33, and gave Methacton their only loss of the season with a tough one that they won out 56-51. And their only loss of the season just came to Lower Merion, 72-60, who we all know the Fords just beat by about 10 a week ago.
About two.
2 weeks ago, excuse me.
They beat them by about two.
Oh, two?
Yeah, the final score was 48-46. as the tip goes off and the Fords win it, and Seidman will have the ball. Seidman looking to cut. Decides not to, gives it over to Wiener. Wiener now towards the key, gives it over to Gannon. It'll be interesting to see. Looks like the Royals are playing a little bit of a zone defense here. Bright gives it over to Wiener. Bright's going to shoot the three. Little off. Wright with the rebound, and the putback's good. Tommy Wright opens the scoring right away here for the Fords. Interesting to see a little bit of a zone defense here from this Royals team.
And Tommy, what I'm interested to see in this Royals team is what kind of style of basketball they're going to play. Throughout their first few games, they've played some mixed, a little bit of iso ball, a little bit of team basketball. But a lot of times last year, they played a lot of iso ball. I'm going to see how that changes tonight against the Fords.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see here as the Royals get started. They're going to call a foul and an and one. Looks like number 21, Yasir Joyner, with the basket, and he will go to the line to shoot one. Joyner for his first foul shot of the night. It gets to go. Foul was on number 2 for Haverford, Tommy Wright, and the Royals take a 3-2 lead there. Good start here so far for this Royals offense.
Yeah, I mean, not much more you can ask for than to quickly answer the bell.
Absolutely. We had a cut by Bright. Wiener gave it over to Wright. Wiener's jumper, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. Possession will retain with the Fords here. Seidman will go to inbound.
So tell me, what I'm looking to see is who's going to be the star for the Fords tonight. I mean, they've really rotated the role a lot, and they just feed the guy who's hot. They're a big three-point shooting team, and whoever's got the hot hand, that's who they like to feed, whether it's Googie Seidman, Brian Wiener, Gorman Bright. It's really interesting to see. I wonder who's going to be the star tonight.
Absolutely. Here is also, the Fords just came off of a really big win against Conestoga at Conestoga, a 44-36 game. That's a little bit lower scoring. It really seems like this Fords team is building off their defense as well, besides even if they aren't getting those outside shots to fall.
Yeah, because sometimes, they're just not going to fall, and they're going to have to grind it out, and that's what they did in that last Conestoga game.
The ball went out of bounds. Upper Darby possession still. Looks like the Royals will go here with it. Looks like Joyner gets it in the corner. Joyner gets double-teamed. He's going to kick it out. Now, here we go. Nadir Myers with the ball. Shot no good. Seidman the rebound. And the Fords will take over. Seidman takes the ball up the half court, looking around. Draws a triple team. Got a reach-in foul there for number 2, Lovo Muba, the junior for Upper Darby. That'll be his first of the game. First team foul for Upper Darby. Here's Seidman's going to inbound the ball. Fords look to get something up here with some movement. Seidman couldn't find the open man, finally finds Wiener. Gives it over to Wright. Wright's going to man it, give it over to Gorman Bright. Gorman Bright was the player of the game last game for us here when he went off against the Great Valley Patriots, especially in that second half, shot 3 straight three-pointers to really help out and jumpstart that Fords offense in their last victory that we had here in Younger Gymnasium. As Wright gives it over to Seidman. Seidman was looking for a screen, didn't get it. He had a pass kicked by Myers. Kickball. Again, possession staying with the Fords. Doesn't look like there's a lot that the Fords are getting right now in this offense. Really looks like the Royals are doing a pretty good job at trying to force some hectic double teams here, and there really aren't any passing lanes.
Yeah, I think that's what Coach Heinrichs is yelling about right now. I think he's trying to get his offense and his team in a little bit more of a rhythm.
So it looks like we have a timeout by Coach Heinrichs already. And just like that, people going in, last year this Upper Darby team, they finished with a 7-14 record, but they were in a lot of close games during the season here. As we have the pep band for the Fords kicking in here. So it'll be very interesting to see what goes on here. They played them, the Royals played the Fords site the last time they were in here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tom, like we just saw, we talked about obviously a 12-point victory by LM against Upper Darby is it's a little more comfortable than a 2-point win, but it does speak to Upper Darby's ability to compete, and they were in that game during the fourth quarter with just a LM having the lead of 2 at one point.
Absolutely. That's a great thing to think about is that this Upper Darby team is not inferior to They are not an inferior Central League team. And, I mean, really in the Central League, especially, for certain sports like basketball too, you're gonna have teams that are going to be coached well, and they're going to be a tough out no matter how big the skill difference is. Here is Wiener gave it over to Gannon. Gannon over to Bright. They're kind of forcing a little shadow double team here on any of the outside shooters. Cut by Gannon. His layup is good. And it looks like that might be how the Fords are going to have to get this offense. Little backdoor cuts here from the guards to get into the paint, sneak behind defenders' backs, and try to get easy layups.
Yeah, and Brian Wiener just showed a little bit of growth so far this season, just in that play alone. I mean, a lot of times during the season, the Fords have found themselves in double teams, and they kind of turtled up, tried to do something dumb with it. Instead, he drew the double, saw a passing lane, and quickly fed Kevin Gannon for an easy 2.
Great steal by Tommy Wright off of Joyner. Ford's turned it right back over. Upper Darby going to drive here. Ball's loose again. Tommy Wright comes up with the ball again. Right here, a little sloppiness between the two teams early here in this first quarter. As Simon's going to take it up here for the Fords. Gives it to Wright. Gannon in the corner. Bright tries to force a double team. Again kicked by this Upper Darby team. Ball goes off of Yasir Joyner, and the Fords retain possession. Here's Simons here to inbound. By the way, Tommy Wright just got checked out. Will Cascarina comes in. Brian Wiener, a 3 from the corner, no good. Rebound by Ziggy Parka, and he's going to take it up here for the Royals.
Yeah, I think the choice of Coach Heinrich to sub out Tommy Wright's early, just kind of like relax him, talk to him about limiting mistakes.
Absolutely. Here's the Royals try to get started here. Drive by number 2, Lovo Mulba. I believe he's going to get the foul call here. They're going to call the foul on Gannon. Looks like they're going to call a reach, and it'll stay Upper Darby ball here. Kyer Slaughter to inbound for the Royals. Gave it over to Joyner. Joyner drives, looks, does not get the basket to go. Wiener's going to try to sprint here for a track meet, and we're going to get a blocking foul here.
Yeah, and Tommy, we're already seeing some struggles on offense for both teams.
Absolutely, and the real thing that I kind of saw when I looked at this Upper Darby team a little bit is that they play very good defense. They forced LM to turn the ball over 10 times in their game. Now, they also turned the ball over 10 times themselves, so they really didn't win the turnover battle. But, this team is pretty good. They're athletic, and it really looks like they're communicating pretty well in this defensive end.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot like Haverford defensively. They're scrappy, and they want to cause turnovers.
As we're going to have an over and back, an errant pass by Cascarina. Just led Bright a little bit too much. We'll turn the ball over here for the Fords, and the Royals will take possession here. 4-3 score. Your Fords on top of the Royals with 3:54 left in this opening quarter, as we have Slaughter to inbound it here for the Royals. And he's going to give it over to Mulba. Mulba over to Joyner. Joyner's looking. Carted by Cascarina. He's going to kick it out to Mulba. Mulba got a 3, and it's good. Lovo, Mulba, corner 3, gives the Royals the lead back at it. Now their lead is 2. It is 6-4 here with 3:30 left. As Seidman gets up the court, gives it over to Wiener. Back over to Seidman. Seidman looking. Got some screen action, gives it over to Wiener. Wiener over to Cascarina, over to Bright. Bright looking, gives it back to Seidman. Over to Wiener. Wiener's going to drive, hit a floater, and it's good. Look at that right there. The Royals kind of bluffed a triple team on him. He sensed the pressure, stopped. They faded off of him, and he went and he hit that floater for good 2 points there for the Fords.
Yeah, all those Royal defenders in the paint kind of just stayed home right around the rim instead of going out to block Brian Wiener, and he took what he can get.
There, as we have a good play by number 5 senior Nadir Mears. Gets the foul call. Foul will be on Brian Wiener, his first. Ford's 3rd foul already in this game with 3 minutes left in this opening quarter.
Yeah, and Tommy displayed right there. Just that play obviously didn't count, but just showing some of that athleticism that Upper Darby has.
Yeah, it really does show. This team is very athletic, and it'll be interesting to see how the Fords try to go there. Whether they try to, when they want to dish and dabble between man and zone defense. Here's the Royals go to inbound. Ball given over to Myers. Myers guarded by Bright. We'll see here. He's going to take his time. Dishes it over to Joyner. Now back to Myers. Myers drives. Layup, no good. Off the back of the rim. Rebound by Wiener. gives it over to Simon, and the Fords are sprinting down the court here. Simon kind of slowing down the pace, looking, drives, layup, no good. Cascarina dives on the ball for the rebound, gives it over to Bright, who gives it to Wiener, and he hits the three. Brian Wiener from the top of the key gives the Fords lead, extends it over to 3 here. It is now a 9-6 game, 2:20 left in this opening quarter.
And that's why Will Cascarina finds himself on the court. He's not the tallest guy, but he plays that big man role because he will lay out for the ball, and that's what Coach Heinrichs like to see.
Slaughter had the ball. Now he's going to give it over to Parka. Parka looking over. He's guarded by Gannon. 2 minutes left to go here in this opening quarter. Gives it back to Slaughter. Slaughter over to Myers. Myers looking. Looking to get a screen. Got a screen by Slaughter. They're going to dish it back over to Joyner. Joyner's going to shoot a 3, and it's good.
And Tommy, I'll tell you one thing. The Fords I'm already seeing, they're very much ball watching. They're all trying to play help D the entire time. While they're off ball, they're all keeping their eyes on where the ball is at that moment and less on their defender. I think they're really worried about that ISO threat.
As Googie Simon hits a logo range 3 to make that. Now we're starting to get some of the shooting here, and both these teams can shoot the 3 ball pretty well. Around or above 35% has kind of been the average for these two teams this year. It'll be really interesting to see if these shots start to fall. I think it'll be a really exciting game here. As we have Myers having the ball here for the Royals. He's going to kick it out. Shot from the corner. Rims out. No good for Joyner. Fords get the board, and Simon will take it up here. Under a minute to go now in this opening quarter. Fords lead the Royals 12-9. Here's Gannon's going to take a mid-range, and it falls. Looks like the Fords are finally starting to find their stride in this zone defense, as the Fords lead is now 5. With Parka now taking it up here for the Royals. It'll be interesting to see if the Royals try to chuck up a shot here, getting a little desperate, or if they're going to take their time and take the last shot of the quarter. We already got that answer. Mulba, 3, no good. Rebound by Myers. Gets it in the corner now. He's going to bring it out. And now I'm assuming the Royals are going to hold for the last shot here.
And Tommy, this Upper Darby zone defense is quite favorable for Haverford right now because obviously all 4 of their players, no matter who personnel-wise they have on the court, they're comfortable with any of them handling the ball. So, I mean, at the current moment, you can easily find some 2-on-1s within that zone D.
Here as we have Myers with the 3 off. Upper Darby gets the board, but yeah, there was a struggle there for the rebound. It'll stay with the Royals here. Interesting how the Fords are already getting a little out-rebounded here on the defensive side. A little offensive boards here for the Royals as James Denman checks in for the Fords here for a last second, try to get up and heckle him. Joyner's going to shoot up a 3, and it's no good, right in front of the Fords bench. And just like that, after 1 quarter of play here at Younger Gymnasium, the Haverford Fords are leading the Upper Darby Royals 14-9. Brendan, what are we seeing here from both teams that we like, and what are some things they got to work on here?
I think the Fords got to keep moving the ball. I mean, they're just, like you talked about, they're just starting to find their stroke right now. And I think really what they need to worry about is their defensively. They're really trying to pack it in a lot, although they're still playing man. Off ball, they're really cheating inside, trying to play help D. I think at some points you gotta still seal off those other threats because this Upper Darby team will move the rock if they draw a double team and burn you.
Absolutely. We already saw this Upper Darby team's not afraid to shoot the ball from beyond the arc, as we have these Lady Fords here giving us a little in-between quarter show. And by the way, in case you didn't know, Brendan, Haverford Sports Media will be at the Haverford Invitational tomorrow, bright and early, 8:30 in the morning, and we'll be covering it till the end of the trophy ceremonies here.
Yeah, we got a...
We have 20 schools, 40 teams, JV and varsity combined. I believe Widener University will also be here, their cheerleading team, to have a little bit of an exhibition. It'll be a fun time. Be sure to either tune in or show up here in Younger Gymnasium and root on all the girls.
And tell me, we have the debut of our fearless leader, the great Khan.
Yes, Sophia Khan will be behind the mic, along with our, over there in Upper Darby now, probably beating up the Royals pretty good. Quay Nguyen will also be behind the mic. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the first time we've had a dominant 2 female broadcast. I know during our track meets before, we had 2. I think we had 2 girls at one time, but I think this is the first time it's really set in stone, and I'm very excited to see how it goes. Here's the upper Darby shot. Fails to go. Again, Seidman will take it up here for the Fords. Be interesting to see if the Royals try to switch to man defense now as Keith Heinrichs checks into the game here. Heinrichs looking. They're going to get a cut from Seidman towards the baseline. He's looking over, gets a double team, kicks it out to right. Right's going to shoot a three just off the top of the rim. Myers saves it, gives it over to Seidman, blocked by Slaughter, and now the Royals are going to go the other way. They're going to kick it out there to Mulba in the corner. He's going to take it over. What an athletic play by Kyer Slaughter on Googie Seidman right there.
Yeah, and again, another exhibition and showing a little bit sampling of their athleticism of the Upper Darby offense.
There's we have a little turnover from the Royals here. We'll give the ball back to the Fords. Wright will inbound and give it over to Wiener. And Wiener will take it up. As Seidman gave it over to Wright. Now Wright looking. Dishes it backdoor to Seidman. His cut. Beautiful. Easy basket. The Fords lead is now 7. Look at that. Again, some off-ball movement leading to some easy points against this Upper Darby defense.
Yeah, if you catch your zone, anybody in the zone watching, I mean, you can easily burn anybody on the backside. So Haverford's going to continue to be able to do that.
Here's Joyner's going to shoot up a three way off the mark. Seidman got the rebound, and he's going to slow it down here for the Fords. Asking Wiener to come over. He's going to give it back to him. Wiener now gives it over to Heinrichs. Heinrichs looking over. We're going to get a cut here by Wiener. Heinrichs gives it back over to Wiener. Now Wiener's at the half court. They're looking to dress something up. Wiener gives it over to Wright. He's getting harassed by Slaughter, and he's going to turn it over. Mulba on the fast break. Easy basket. And it really looks like the Fords had nothing set up there on that offensive possession, Brendan.
Yeah, and again, I think just another rush play by Tommy Wright. I think he's got to relax a little bit. And I think that's what Coach Heinrichs is trying to preach to him right now. But the Fords, I mean, they're going to be all right. They did well at the end of that first quarter. So
absolutely here as we have Wright now giving it over to Gannon. Gannon over to Heinrichs. Now to Seidman. He's going to make Mulba fall. His mid-range gets to go. Googie Seidman caught a pair of ankles and got a basket with it.
And Googie Seidman is, again, when we talk about, he's a great player, maybe one of the best players in Central League. So, and that shows it to you right there, Tommy.
Absolutely here as we have Myers gives it over to the corner for a three. And again, Yasir Joyner, the 6'3" senior, gets another shot to go. And now the lead is just 4.
Yeah, and just right there, Tommy Wright having to play help D, helping in the paint, trying to show some help to his teammate, opens up a wide open Upper Darby 3.
Seidman lost the ball. He's slow to get up. Errant pass by Slaughter will give the ball back to Seidman. Seidman was a little slow to get up. I hope he's all good. You see, he is wearing a brace on one of his ankles here. But now he's going to man the offense. Getting a little double team, give it over to Wiener. Now back over to Heinrichs. Heinrichs looking, hands it off to Gannon. Gannon gives it over to Wiener. Wiener now to Wright. Right at the top of the key, dishes it over to Seidman. He's going to shoot the three, and it's good! Googie Seidman from way downtown makes this lead back to 7 points, 4:15 left, 21-14 Fords.
And Tommy, Googie Seidman loves to show off his range. We've seen in other games. The Lower Marion game, he showed it off. Right there, it shows off that range.
There as the close jumper from Myers, short. Seidman thought about it again, gives it back to Wright. Now Wright gives a little give and go with Seidman. He's going to look to shot create. Decides to give it over to Wiener. Going to call a blocking foul on Kyer Slaughter. Or Kyer Slaughter. That'll be his first of the game. The Fords will retain possession. Here, as it looks like Kevin Gannon and Tommy Wright both get subbed out here. Jack Raich checks into the game for the first time, and Gorman Bright comes back onto the court for the Fords.
Yeah, and these are the and we'll see an off-ball foul lead to a Upper Darby taking over.
It looks like it was called on Seidman with his action against Myers trying to free himself up. Interesting call there as Slaughter's going to inbound it to Myers. And he's going to bring it up here for the Royals. tried to trap him, and he evades it quickly, gives it over to Slaughter. Slaughter looking, kind of ran into his own teammate. Going to give it over to Alston. Now Joyner has it again. Joyner trying to drive. He's going to go fader off of Jack Raich, way short, off the side. And it looks like the Fords are going to get it back again. Rebound by Wiener, gave it over to Simon. Simon looking to drive. Kicks it out to Wiener in the corner for three. Just rings out. Bright tried to get the rebound. Got it for Raich instead. Raich's layup is good, and Jack Raich, again, another HSM broadcast. Another time the young fella gets himself, tries to spark up this Haverford team off the bench, and the Fords' lead is now 9.
Yeah, Tommy, he's done a great job all year coming off that bench and making a play, getting a few points for his team. Again, like you just said, getting that spark.
Absolutely. I mean, it really looks like Jack Raich will be a crucial player for this Fords team throughout the season off the bench here as a reserve.
Yeah, and Tommy Wright is their primary big man, and he's really their only big man in their starting lineup. So it's very important for a guy like Jack Raich to be able to step into his role and provide while not giving up any crucial points.
Absolutely. That is a big thing there that you want. So really, if you're Upper Darby, what do you like? If you're the coach of Upper Darby right now, what are you trying to tell your players?
I think they got to keep doing what we saw in the middle of the second quarter, where if you have a guy drive, Haverford's playing a lot of help defense, and they're really cheating a lot off ball. So if you draw a double team in close in the paint, and you kick one out, it'll provide a lot of open looks from three-point line.
We apologize for whatever is going on here on your screen. We have been having some technical difficulties. We will make sure to erase that. Here's the Royals are coming into inbound. Looks like Rome Petey, the junior, is in for the Royals. He's going to give it over to Slaughter, and the Royals will get into their half-court offense.
And we apologize. The screen just went black. So, Tommy, just give us some radio play-by-play.
I'll try to. You know what? I have a face for radio, Brendan, so that works perfectly well. Slaughter's going to drive, blocked by Wiener, and now the Fords are going to run. He's going to give it over to Bright. Oh, what a great defensive play by Joyner. Reaches out, and he's going to give it over to Myers. Myers, floater, way off course. Rebound by Bright, and the Fords will start back up. Really lost opportunity there if you are the Royals. Here as now the Fords will bring it up. It is Brian Wiener with the ball. Tries to give it over to Raich. They're going to call a foul on Slaughter instead. And the Fords will retain possession here. Foul count now at 4 for both teams. That is Kaiser Slaughter's second. And remember, guys, 5 personal fouls, and you're out of here. You're done for the night. As Wiener gets the ball over for the Fords, he's going to give it over to Bright in the corner. He can shoot it from 3. Just miss. Rebound by number 13, Rome Petey, for the Royals. And he's going to try to set up this Royals offense here. He's going to give it over to Brown. Alex Brown, sophomore for the Royals, is in the game. Now, here we go. The ball's over to Myers. Myers looking around. Tries to get that layup to go, and it goes! And he's going to get the foul call. Nifty play there by Nadir Myers. He's going to have a chance to give himself 3 points.
Yeah, and Coach Heinrichs is pleading for a travel call, but I think the officials are counting it.
I'll tell you what, I was at the game here last year when the Royals came and visited Younger Gymnasium, and Nadir Myers was really the focal point of this Royals offense, and it looks like the same continues here going into his senior season.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're seeing that tonight. I mean, great and 1 bucket just right there.
As the foul shot does get to go, that'll make the Fords lead 6, as it is 23-17 here with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Again, we apologize for any of the issues that we have. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stick with us. If you need to, just listen to my beautiful voice over. Here as we have Wright gives it over to Wiener. Now Wiener lost the ball. They're going to call a foul instead. So they're going to call a reach in. And that'll be Ziggy Parka called for the foul. And that is Parka's first foul of the game, as Simon's going to uncork from long range. Does not get to go. Joyner with the ball. He's looking over his options. Tries to give it over to Bright, and he will. Bright now looking. Gets reached in there by Myers. Interesting to see. Myers has really been all over the court here for the Royals on the defensive end so far, early in the second half.
Yeah, and Gorman Bright really never gets picked. I mean, obviously it was a reach, but it never gets pickpocketed like that. So it's surprising to see that Myers is able to get really up in Gorman Bright's face like that.
Really, it is. As now Myers is now on Gannon, as they now made Gannon the primary ball handler. He dishes it out to Bright, who gives it over to Wiener. Wiener with the behind the back dribble. He's going to go in between 3 defenders and get the layup. Brian Wiener showing some great athleticism and handles there to get the first basket of the second half. Here's now we have Slaughter taking it up here for the Royals. Gives it over to Hines. Hines now looking. It'll be interesting to see if the Fords try to cut off the driving lanes for him. Because now they're going to try to trap him. He tries to throw it between Seidman and Gannon. Does not work. Seidman's going to fall on the ground. Timeout called by the Fords. Possession with Haverford. Great job there by Coach Keith Heinrichs and also Googie Seidman and Kevin Gannon for forcing the turnover.
Yeah, and I also like to comment. It looks like Upper Darby switched back to a man, so it's interesting to see. I think they saw how Haverford reacted to their zone early in that first half, and I think they're switching back to the man. So it'll be interesting to see if they stick with it or if they switch back.
It definitely will. It'll be cool to see what the Fords do. Maybe that'll open up some more three-point opportunities here for this Fords team. If not, then they'll probably just go right like they did in the beginning of that first half, and they'll just go with some off-ball movements, some backdoor cuts, and get some easy layups, and then maybe that'll open it up. Here as the Fords will inbound right by the Upper Darby bench. Wright will handle the ball. As he's going to give it over to Bright. And Bright will start up the offense for the Fords. Bright gives it over to Seidman. They're going to call another foul here on the Royals. It looks like it'll be number 2, Lovo Mulba. That'll be his 3rd personal of the game. 2nd already in the 3rd quarter for the Royals. And Haverford will get the ball again. Inbound over to Gannon. Now over to Wright. Wright's going to drive, and there's going to be another foul here. Look at that. The Fords already drawing a lot of defensive miscues from this Royals team, and that might be part of the reason because of their man defense.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be shocked, Talia, to see if that continues. And what's advantageous for Haverford is the fact that all of them are comfortable with handling the ball. So to put each of these guys in one-on-one situations is good for Haverford. I'm sure Coach Heinrich is very happy with that.
Interesting here as Nadir Myers is talking over with the officials, and the officials and the Upper Darby coach are having a little back and forth as there will be an inbound pass. Upper Darby's lucky they didn't get a technical foul as Tommy Wright got the layup. Now Myers is going to try to run here for the Royals. Layup up and in just like that. Myers trying to keep his team in it. As that'll cut the lead back down to 7. Wiener now holding the ball here for the Fords. Wiener gives it over to Bright. Bright guarded by Myers. He's going to look over. Whistle. And it looks like it's going to be on number 2, Lovo Mulba again. That's his 4th personal. One more and he's out of the game. So it'll be really interesting to see how the Royals try to handle this foul trouble they've gotten themselves into.
I mean, yeah, and early in this 3rd quarter, you definitely don't want to find yourself with 3 fouls. I mean, especially with how good of a free throw shooting team Haverford is.
As Bright with a 3, and it's good! Again, out of the locker room, Gorman Bright with a shot to go, but there is a whistle. Looks like they're going to call. Looks like the basket is not going onto the board. It looks like they might be. It looks like they're calling an offensive foul, and it's on Tommy Wright. That'll be a 2nd personal, and that's pretty big there. That takes the basket away for the Fords. As Wright tries to pick Joyner's pocket, that'll give him 3 fouls now.
And that's obviously not somewhere Coach Heinrichs wants to see his primary big guy in the third quarter.
Correction. Looks like the offensive foul was called on Gannon. That reach-in was called on Wright. As Seidman gets the rebound, dishes it over to Wright. Now he's looking, dishes it over to Gannon. His mid-range jumper gets to go. Ford's lead now 12 with 5:30 left in this third quarter.
And Tommy, it seems as though the three-pointer by Haverford before that by Gorman Bright did actually count on the scoreboard. So maybe it's some miscommunication between the officials and the scorer's table.
Yeah, it really did seem like it. We will see if that changes at all. Timeout was taken by the Royals here. And I mean, to be honest, the other thing is, if you guys do not know where we are located here in Haverford Sports Media, we're on the home bleacher side, right in the corner, right by the baseline. So we can't really hear too much of all the chatter that goes between the officials and the scorer's table. And really, unless the scoreboard shows us what's up, I really can't hear the PA announcers announce the fouls. So, that's kind of where we're at. So we apologize for any miscommunications, but, we try our best over here. It wouldn't be a Haverford Sports Media production without a couple bumps and bruises along the way.
Of course not, and we wouldn't want it either way.
Here's the Royals come to inbound the ball. Slaughter on the inbound pass here. He's going to give it over to Myers. And now it looks like the Fords are set here. Pick by Joyner. Hard pick. Good pick. Now Myers ball handling, looking around. He's going to cut through. His layup up and in. Another great play by number 5, Nadir Myers. He's really been a standout here for the Royals. The reason why the Royals are kind of in this game, and it's not a blowout right now.
Yeah, Myers is continuing to just slice right through the Haverford defense.
As Myers again here stays home, picks Gorman Bright's pocket. His three, no good. Joyner with a rebound, looks around, tries to bully Tommy Wright. His layup, no good. Simon with the board, and a big opportunity there missed by the Royals, as now Simon's going to take it down here for the Fords.
And Tommy, I'll tell you what, that was just a great job by Wright, playing great defense right near the rim and not allowing a foul to be drawn by the Upper Darby player, Joyner.
As there was a great cut by Gorman Bright. Simon fed him well, and there was a foul call on Yasir Joyner, which will take Bright to the line to shoot 2. Remember, Bright had 2 big free throws that ended up becoming the winning free throws against Lower Marion in our first boys basketball broadcast this season. Been pretty good from the line so far. I hope that was not just an announcer's jinx, as Bright's second shot from the line gets to go. All right, we're lucky. We got good. As Joyner inbounds for the Royals, and they're going to bring it up. Score 38-26. Fords with about 4:30 left in this third quarter. As we have Joyner now handling the ball for the Royals. Gives it over to Myers. Myers gives it over to Slaughter. Slaughter back to Joyner. Joyner drives, kicks it out. 3. Off. The 3 for Brown was no good. He got the rebound, though. Gives it over back to Slaughter. And that'll be 2 good points there for the Royals. They cut the lead back down to 10. Now Seidman takes the ball here for the Fords. Be interesting here to see how patient the Fords offense is. Tries to get a cut back to Bright. Wasn't what they wanted, but they still retain possession. And now Brown gets called for a blocking foul on Gorman Bright. Interesting here. It really doesn't seem like the Royals can really contain themselves on the defensive end and guard Haverford man-to-man here.
Well, yeah, they put themselves in a tough spot because, again, like we talked about earlier, every single player on Haverford's offense is capable of ball handling and being a threat. And that's tough when you have you find your best matchup in your weakest defender. And Haverford puts themselves in a good spot.
As Seidman had a cut and went right through, gave it to Wright, and they're going to call a charge. Turnover for the Fords. Royals possession. They're going to call it on Googie Seidman. Interesting. Good play by Seidman. Just, I guess, better play by Upper Darby there to set their feet. As now it looks like the Fords are going with a little bit of a zone pressure here. As we're going to have Joyner in the corner. He faked the 3. Now he's going to shoot a long jumper. No good. Rebound by Wright. Gives it over to Seidman. And the Fords will go on the offensive end. Now Wiener gave it to a cutting Gannon over to right for three, and he hits it. Tommy Wright, the Fords big man, with a long ball three from the corner as Myers is going to come right back and get a layup. I mean, I'll tell you what, anytime any of these Haverford players gets a bucket, Nadir Myers just runs himself down the court coast to coast and gets a basket of his own.
Yeah, Tommy, especially one with some power, one with a little bit of a momentum swing. Myers is immediately responding.
As Wiener's cross-court pass gets deflected, the Fords will retain possession. I mean, we really got to talk about it here. This is one of the best individual performances I've seen from one player against the Fords. I mean, obviously this season calling games. But besides that, I mean, he is the reason why this Royals team is probably not down 20 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, his contributions have been huge so far in this game.
Here, Seidman takes the ball for the Fords, looking over. He's going to shoot a mid-range off the front, gets his own rebound, gets the layup. Oh, just rims out. Rebound by the Royals. Slaughter brings it up. Going to give it over to Myers. Myers tries to fake Bright. He's going to go in for a layup, and he gets it to go. I mean, oh, my goodness. This kid just cannot be denied once he drives towards the basket, Brendan.
Yeah, and especially since Haverford's kind of lightened up on how much they're cheating off ball. They're not helping as much in the paint off ball as they were previously, and that's opening up a lot of opportunities for Myers.
As Bright gives it to Wiener, they're going to call another foul here on the Royals. Looks like it's going to be on number 1, Kysir Slaughter. That'll be his third personal foul, so now another Royal starter in a little bit of foul trouble here. 16 foul already of the half for the Royals. 7 will get the Fords into the bonus. Interesting to see here. That'll be an interesting note the rest of the way. As Wiener dishes it over to Gannon in the corner. His three no good. Joyner got a hand on it. Royals get it, and now Myers trying to go coast to coast. He's going to get the foul call, and Nadir Myers will go to the line to shoot too. I mean, oh my, I'm kind of at a loss for words. I don't know what else to say about Nadir Myers.
Yeah, currently when in transition, whenever he finds space, he's just taken to the rack, and there's nothing that Ford's really able to do. I mean, he's scoring buckets and he's drawing fouls. I mean, they can't stop him right now.
I mean, the only thing that's kind of gone wrong for him so far in the second half is that missed foul shot. His first shot does not get to go. Wright checks in for Cascarina now. Here's the Fords are talking over their assignments. Myers' second shot from the line gets to go. That was one thing that plagued the Royals in their game against the Aces, was that they were not too great from the line. Probably cost them down the stretches. Wright tried to go coast to coast. It got tipped. I don't know by who, but Myers, here we go again. Nadir Myers cutting down. Now he's going to give it over to Joyner. Joyner got it tipped away by Wright. He gets his own board, though, and puts it back. Just like that.
We're sorry. Our screen just went black. Our camera, we're having some technical difficulties. And I'm surprised on the other end we didn't just see a foul on Tommy Wright. I mean, against Tommy Wright, because when he went up for that basket, it looked like he was hit in the face. So I'm surprised we didn't see a call by the official.
Just like that, the lead for the Fords is down to 6 here. As we have Kevin Gannon on the top of the key. Gives it to Simon. Simon drives, dishes over to Wright. Wright the layup, and it's good. And just like that, there will be a timeout called, and the Fords lead is now 43-35 with a minute and 8 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Brendan, I got to tell you, we've had a really good game.
Yeah, and Upper Darby, although they're still down 8 right now, and they've been down 10 at points and 11. They're still like just keeping themselves in it. They're not going too far. They're not down by 15, but they're also not chasing Haverford right now by like only losing by 2. So it's gonna be interesting to see if at some point they decide to go push their chips to the table and finally make a final push to get towards the Fords.
Yeah, that'll be very interesting. A little thing to note here is that the Royals were down double digits in the fourth quarter against the Lower Marion Aces when they came back. And they tied it all up, and then the game got out of hand for them right there at the end. But obviously, this Royals team knows how to score in bunches, and I think we know how they get all those points. I think it really comes around their nucleus for their offense in Nadir Myers.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to have to continue to have a great game in this fourth quarter, and teammates are going to have to show up in this fourth quarter for the Royals to get themselves closer to the Fords right now.
As Slaughter will inbound to who else but Nadir Myers here for the Royals. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as Slaughter gives it over to Joyner. Joyner right in and easy. Makes the lead back down to 6 here for the Fords as Seidman's now going to get it. He's guarded by Muba. Muba, remember, has 4 personal fouls. Seidman drove, blocked by Petty. Petty gives it over to Myers. Little give and go. Look at that. I mean, right away, this Upper Darby team definitely knows how to fly in transition. Lead for the Fords now down to 4 with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Now Wiener looking. Dishes it over to Gannon. Gannon surveying. Looks for the mid-range. Decides not. Bright took away. Shot from Wiener, and it goes. Brian Wiener from beyond the arc extends this Fords lead back out to 7. Big shot there by Brian Wiener.
Yeah, and that's huge for the Fords going into this fourth quarter, and let's see if Upper Darby can change that.
Slaughter with a 3 of his own. Off the front of the rim, rebounded by Wright. Gives it over to Wiener. Wiener's going to try to chug up a last shot. Just short anyway. The official says it wouldn't have counted. And at the end of 3 quarters here, we have a score of 46-39. Haverford over Upper Darby. Brendan, what should we see in this fourth quarter between these two teams?
Yeah, Tommy, although we saw Haverford struggle in those last 2 or 3 minutes of that third quarter, and that last shot by Brian Wiener was huge and just a big momentum shift. You know, it changes the game. It would have been a 4-point game. Now it's a 7-point game. So that gives you a little more breathing room if you're the Fords and allows you to get a little more comfortable in offense. And really, what's killing the Fords is transition buckets right now. A guy like Nadir Myers is killing the Fords in transition, whether it's him taking it all the way to the rim or like the play we saw about a minute ago where he outran the court, jumped up, was about at the baseline, about to go out of bounds, dishes it back inside and hits Joyner for a layup. I mean, this kid's just doing it all right now.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, like I said earlier, he is the nucleus of this team's of the Royals offense. And I mean, a thing to be I think to talk about though is that the Royals are in a little bit of foul trouble. Slaughter, I believe, has 3 personal fouls. Uba has 4. He's down to his last strike. So it'll be interesting to see if what Upper Darby does here to try to maybe use some of these reserve guys. As we see already, Uba not in the game. They have taken Alex Brown in for him. We also see Rome Petey in for the Royal. Slaughter's layup is no good. They tried to call it. The Royals wanted to travel on Seidman as he was falling to the court. They don't get that to happen. And Seidman now is going to take the ball up for the Fords here. Seidman's going to give it over to Wright. They're going to play a little give-and-go action over to Wiener in the corner. He's going to drive baseline, kick it over to Gannon. Gannon looking. He's getting a little trap here in the corner. Gives it out to Wright. Wright now looking over. Is going to drive. Look. Kicks it out to Wiener. Wiener over to Gannon. Now Gannon's going to look over. Dishes it over to Bright. Now over to Wright in the corner for 3. Just a little long. Rebound by Petey. And Nadir Myers is going to try to get down here for the Fords. Reach-in foul called for Gorman Bright.
Yeah, I think something Upper Darby coach Bob Miller has talked about with this team just at the end of that third quarter while he had time. I think they're trying to immediately get it in Nadir Myers' hands, although they were doing it before. They're trying to do it even faster now. I think we kind of just saw that right there, and it's going to be interesting to see how that continues in this fourth quarter.
Joyner now with the ball for the Royals. Gives it over to Petey. Petey looking, gives it over to Myers. Myers guarded by Bright. Myers now looking over, gives it to Slaughter. Now over to Joyner. Joyner looking for a layup. Doesn't get it to go. Ball's loose. Joyner gets the offensive rebound. Drives. Foul called on Wright. Joyner will go to the line to shoot 2 here. I mean, Yasir Joyner has just been an absolute force on the offensive glass so far for the Royals in this game.
Yeah, he's been scrappy. And Tommy Wright's answered the bell a lot, but, I mean, Joyner just seems to be a little too much for him right now.
It really seems like Joyner's just able to get to these loose balls before any of the other Fords are in the paint. It's his first shot from the line. Bounces out. Again, remember, now both teams with 16 fouls. Both will get into the bonus soon. It might come down to who shoots the foul shots better. This is Joyner's second shot from the line. Gets the fall. Time out by the Royals. The lead now for the Fords. 6 with 6:40 left in regulation time. Brendan, what is the game plan here for Coach Heinrich to try to slow down Nadir Myers and make sure this Royals offense has just got to become stagnant?
I think he's just got to keep preaching. They got to get immediately back in on defense. They got to rush and really rush back on date. And I think a big part of that is limiting turnovers. And when you do shoot a shot and you don't get a rebound, you got to quickly get back, because that's something that the Fords, they often take their time getting back in on date. But right now they got to hurry.
As the Fords have definitely played in their fair share of close games so far earlier in this year. Obviously, we saw, the first game, our first broadcast of the season, Lower Marion, they only won by 2. They were up by almost double digits in the fourth quarter. Then again here, Upper Darby kind of closing in on them. Won by 8 against Conestoga at Conestoga. So this team is battle-tested, and a lot of these guys did play last year, so it's good to know that they have some experience. As Wiener kicks in, dishes it back out to right over now to Seidman, and now they're going to give Slaughter a call, and now the Fords will go into the bonus. Now again, for any of my friends who don't know what the bonus is like, from fouls 7 to 10, it is a 1-and-1 for any common foul. Once you get into 10+, you are now in the double bonus, and it is 2 foul shots for any common foul. It does not have to be a shooting foul.
And it's big for the Fords because obviously they're a great foul shooting team, like we just saw there from Googie Simon nailing his first shot. But it's going to be interesting to see how it also affects Upper Darby, because they are also in the bonus. Or they also could find themselves in the bonus very soon with Haverford having 6 fouls.
As Slaughter checks out for the Royals, that is a interesting substitution here from head coach Bob Miller, as Seidman's second foul shot gets to go. The Fords lead back up 2-8. Joyner now taking the ball for the Royals. Kicks it over to Brown. Brown's going to shoot up a 3, and it goes! Alex Brown gets a 3-pointer for the Royals, cuts the lead back down to 5. It looks like they're going to call a push-off on Googie Seidman. Haverford parents not big on that one. And that's a costly turnover here for the Fords. Could be a big momentum shift in this game.
Yeah, huge momentum killer at this point in the game. And I'm sure Googie Simon is quite frustrated about that, because I'm sure he often maybe does that, and they haven't called it all night, and to see it called there is tough.
As Myers is going to cut in, and they call him for the charge. Who else but Googie Simon to set his feet?
Tit for tat, Tommy. There you go. I mean, he got his foul back and got the ball back for the Fords.
As Tommy Wright is calling out a wet spot on the court. He wants that cleaned up. We're going to have the security guard, Mr. Manott, help us out here. Again, you know what? I don't think this goes, as we have a stoppage in place here. So we have a fire call here from Wright. He's going to pass it into Simon, who will dish it out to Bright. And now Simon will become the main ball carrier. Now he's going to dish it over to Wright. Back to Simon. Interesting, though, the Royals kind of teased a little bit of a zone press there. Now they're going to call a double dribble. I believe the double dribble is going to be called on Kevin Gannon. Another turnover here. Both teams getting a little sloppy, Brendan.
Yeah, and the officials making some calls. I think, maybe a little tic-tac for the fourth quarter. But, the players have to adjust.
Here as Myers took the inbound pass for the Royals. He's going to take it up, as it'll be interesting to see what the Royals do. Myers is going to take up a shot. I think it got deflected by Gannon. Great defense by him. Myers fell. No foul called. Upper Darby parents did not like that. The Fords will take it back now. Wiener's going to shoot a 3. Just rims out. Rebound by Joyner. Gives it over to Myers. Myers flung himself into Kevin Gannon, and they're going to give Gannon the foul call. Myers will go to shoot a 1-and-1.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I mean, I think Myers just absolutely threw his shoulder into Kevin Gannon. I don't know where that call just came from, but
yeah, I'll tell you what. You know what? Nadir Myers is a great great basketball player. He's not very good at acting.
Not at all, Tommy.
It's Myers' first shot for the 1-and-1. It goes in. And now Myers will shoot his second here. Second half of the 1-and-1. Both teams with 8 fouls. And the possession arrow towards the Fords right now. Myers' second foul shot will take the Fords lead just down to 3 with 5:15 here. And now Royals are going to play a little bit of his own pressure here. It's really going to be interesting to see what the Fords do. I mean, they went up against Lower Marion, who runs a similar pressure, and they did pretty well against it. Now Wiener here in the half court gets it going. Looking, guarded by Mulba, who has 4 personal fouls. Gives it over to Bright. Bright to Wright. Wright looking. Over to Seidman. Seidman gets a screen from Wright. Now Seidman looking. He picked up his dribble. Over back to Wright. Now over to Wiener. Wiener over to Seidman. Seidman's going to hold court here. He's going to wait to see what the right move is. Now he's going to hand it off to Wright. Wright sets his feet. Gives it over to Seidman. Seidman looking to drive baseline. Layup, and it's good! Googie Seidman extends the Fords lead here to 5. 4.5 left. Royals back on the offense. And who else but Nadir Myers?
And Tommy, response for the Fords right now for Myers' transition game and quick buckets that he's been getting is that he has Coach Heinrichs has Gorman Bright actually shadowing Myers directly off the inbound.
As the 3 from Brown does not get to go, Seidman calls the timeout after falling on the loose ball. Upper Darby coaching staff is absolutely livid. But it does not matter. It'll be Haverford possession.
Yeah, I think truly, I think Coach Heinrichs could have saved himself a timeout there. I think it would have been a foul on Upper Darby. I mean, the Upper Darby player really did not have a hand on the ball, so it would have been a foul instead of a jump ball call.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really a call from Coach Heinrichs. It was a call from Googie Seidman himself. Just wanted to make sure that.
There you go. Excuse me.
He kept possession.
Tommy, honestly, in this next series for Haverford right here, I wouldn't be shocked. And what I would do is I would actually have whoever has number 2 for Upper Darby, Lovo, on them. I would actually try to just feed him the ball or feed that guy the ball and try to really pressure him because obviously he has 4 fouls. Probably doesn't want to foul out of the game and certainly doesn't want to foul because then he'll give his team and the opponent a 1-and-1 anyway. So I think that is certainly something that could come up right here for the Fords. So put yourself on a passive defender.
Absolutely. I think that's something big. I think that's a reason why Seidman's layup right there was so easy. I think he got a matchup where it would only be Mulba having a chance to go up and defend his rather easy layup driving baseline, and he decided not to here. As we have the girls basketball team coming in the Younger Gymnasium to catch the end of this great one. I'm assuming we will have a great look to see what happened as we have a foul call. They're going to call it on Mulba, and that's going to be it. He's done for the day. Bob Miller is not happy with the officials right now. He's going to have to watch it as they're getting into it. He's getting really incensed with them. Lots of hand motions. I've seen a lot of those at my Italian dinner tables, Brendan, and usually it doesn't always come in at a great time.
Certainly, and it doesn't normally mean anything good either.
As Mulba will foul out, Ford should get a 1-and-1 here. It'll be Seidman to shoot. Seidman's first shot from the line gets to go. Big shot there from the Fords. Big shot from Seidman. I mean, Seidman always comes up when the moment's bright, and it's a big time there, and the Fords really need him to get a bucket. 4:09 left. Seidman's second shot from the line gets to fall, increase the Fords' lead to 7. And scores 52-45, 4:09 left.
Tommy, the Fords have continued to dominate from the line so far in this game, and it's going to be huge down the stretch of this last 4 minutes with Upper Darby having 9 fouls.
Slaughter gives it over to Joyner. Joyner hits a shot from beyond the arc. Joyner hit about 2 or 3 in the first half from downtown. Cuts the lead back down to 4. Be interesting to see if the Royals start to feed the ball to Joyner and then maybe try to counterbalance the Fords' defensive attention from Myers. Now as Wiener's struggling with the ball, he's going to turn it over. Slaughter on the fast break. Tries to give it over to Parka. Parka gave it over to Joyner. Now Myers has it. Myers is going to try to slow him down. Looks to try to drive it. Right, touches the ball. They're going to call a foul. Myers will go to the line. They're going to call it on Brian Weiner. That'll be his second personal. 19 fouls for both squads here. And Myers will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Ford's only up 4.
Yeah, and certainly closer than Haverford would have liked, but you find yourself in these situations and you gotta grind them out.
You know, a wise man once told me basketball is a game of runs, Brendan.
And
I think that's so true. It's Nadir Myers misses the shot. His first half of the 1-and-1 gives the Fords the ball there. Opportunity missed for the Royals. 3:15 left in regulation. Seidman holding the ball, guarded by Brown.
And Tommy, looks like these free throws are going to be oh so important. That's a huge miss there.
As Seidman driving, kicks it out to Gannon. Gannon looking, guarded by Joyner. Gives it back out to Seidman. Seidman looking, guarded by Myers, and he's going to draw the charge. Brian Weiner is absolutely aghast from the foul call. That'll now give Seidman 4. One more, and Seidman fouls out of the game. We gotta look at it here. Keith Heinrichs now getting subbed in. Big time in this game. 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And arguably the Ford's best player out of the lineup right now. And you're throwing in Keith Heinrichs.
Yeah, Tom, that's a tough call to make. I mean, I think he had his feet moving, but that's the official's call to make.
As Nadir Myers just absolutely just moves his way through the Ford's defense. And it'll cut the lead to 2 here with 2:40 left. They've made Weiner the primary ball handler. As now Weiner looking over. Timeout by Coach Heinrichs. And it really looks like this official here on the side of both benches is hearing it from both coaching staffs, and he's not having any of it.
Yeah, nobody's happy with him right now, to tell you the truth, between Upper Darby or Haverford, and some interesting calls been made, but
rough Friday night for this official here.
Yeah, down the stretch, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays effect and how free throws. Like we just saw, Tommy, a free throw, a miss by Nadir Myers was huge. I mean, a make and then another make because he was in a 1-and-1 would have helped Upper Darby to be tied right now, but they're still down 2 because of the miss.
Absolutely. So what do you think Coach Heinrichs is talking to his players in that huddle right now to tell them to try to make sure that they come out here with a win?
Well, I think he's trying to preach to Brian Weiner that Doogie's not out there and he's got to step up. And although Brian Weiner's done a great job all season, this is really his time. And now he's the number 1 guy on the court, and he has to be a playmaker.
Well, it looks like Googie Seidman has now checked back into the game. Remember, Googie Seidman has 4 personal fouls. So one more, and Googie Seidman will be out of this game. And if the Royals force overtime, that could be a crucial thing to talk about, of maybe how the outcome of this one ends. As the Fords go to inbound, Wright will be the passer. And he's going to give it over to Weiner. Weiner guarded by Brown. Remember, Mubla has fouled out for the Royals, one of their starters, so they got a reserve guy in there now. Now, Seidman guarded by Myers. Seidman's going to drive in, looks, jumper, off the side, rebound by Myers, and they're going to call a foul. That should be double bonus now. Nadir Myers will be, oh my goodness, they called the foul on Googie Seidman. Googie Seidman is now fouled out of the game, and Keith Heinrichs will be in for the rest of this one as Nadir Myers shoots 2 humongous free throws.
We just saw him struggle a minute ago. Will that continue here, Tommy?
Now, in case nobody knew coming into this game, your Haverford Fords were ranked the number 1 team in District 1. Upper Darby 13th as Myers' first shot gets to go. And you know what, Brendan? If the parking lot could get a little rowdy right now, it would be the time.
Yes. I mean, now more than ever, it's needed.
Been pretty quiet. So now Myers is going to go to the line here. His second shot gets it to go, and we are all tied up at 52 apiece with 2:18 left, right to inbound to Bright. Now Bright's going to take it up. It looks like he might become the primary ball handler now. Guarded by, he was guarded by Myers. Wright drove in, and they're going to call a charge on Tommy Wright. The forwards bench is absolutely.
That's a brutal call, Tommy. That's a brutal call. That's brutal.
As Younger Gymnasium, half of it is cheering and half of it is incensed, as that is now Tommy Wright's 4th personal foul call of the game.
And look for Upper Darby to feed Yasir Joyner right now.
Here as Savage gives it over to Joyner, who you talked about. 3 is too long. He goes and gets the board. Ball is loose. They're going to get him just like that. Alex Brown gets the layup to go. And if Coach Heinrichs has any more timeouts right now, I think you might want to take it. Minute 40 left. Brian Wiener kicks in, gives it over to Wright. Wright drives, gives it over to Heinrichs. Heinrichs looks, gives it back to Wiener. Wiener looking over his options here. It'll be interesting to see what the Fords do on offense as they're down by 2. Wiener checks in and they're going to call a block!
That's the right call, Tommy. That's a make-up call. He didn't have his feet set. It's the right call. You can't be fishing for fouls like that.
Alex Brown gets called for the block. And Brian Wiener will go to the line to shoot 2. Down 2 with 1:26 left to try to tie this game up here for the Fords. Big shots here. Again, we kind of said it's going to come down to who can shoot the foul shots the best. It's Wiener's first shot. Gets to go. Score is now 54-53. Upper Darby with 1:26 left in regulation. Remember, Googie Seidman has fouled out. Wiener's second shot from the line does not get to go. Rebound by the Royals, and they're going to give it over to Myers. Now Myers is going to try to run. Fords really cannot contain Myers. He's kind of running free, and they're going to call another foul on the Fords.
And Myers has had struggles from the line so far. Made his last 2, but it's going to be interesting to see how does he shoot here.
Foul is on Brian Wiener. That is his 3rd personal. It'll be interesting to see what happens here from the line here as Myers will shoot 2. Again, Wiener a little uncharacteristic there from the line. Missed.
Yeah.
Might cost the Fords. We'll see, though, as Myers will go. His first shot, smooth like butter. We'll put the Royals up by 2 with 1:17 left. Again, it'll be interesting. The Fords do not have their primary scorer in Googie Seidman. We'll wonder who the Fords will lean on to here as the Royals are now up by 3, 56-53. Wright gives it over to Gannon. Gannon guarded by Myers. 1:10 left to go in regulation. Heinrichs gets it in the corner. He gives it over to Wiener. Wiener's going to shoot a 3. Airballs it. And Wright just cannot get to it. And that'll be Upper Darby possession. Now look for the Fords here to hit a full court press. As they're going to give it over to Myers. Myers is looking over. Pass for Slaughter. He's able to get to it. Slaughter gives it back over to Myers. Myers running into Wiener. Now he's going to cut his floater, and it's good. Nadir Myers has had a hell of a game, and that makes the lead 5 here for the Royals as Keith Heinrichs gets it by the bench. Gives it over to Wiener. Wiener's going to cut. Lost the ball. And they're going to call it travel. And that might just do it, ladies and gentlemen. Your Haverford Fords.
And Tommy, I'm not sure really how you can make that call. A player is helpless when he is on the ground. And
the Royals here to inbound. Slaughter to pass it in. He's looking to give it to Myers, and he will. They're trying to reach into it. The Ford's bench is again, just outraged by this officiating crew. Upper Darby's fine with shooting foul shots now. The call is on Kevin Gannon. That's his 2nd of the game. 35.4 left. Ford's down 5. Myers to shoot 2. And, I mean, if he does go 1 for 1 here, it'll be only a 2-possession game, but if he hits both, might be the nail in the coffin as he hits the first one. Myers, one of the biggest shots he probably has of the season so far. He's going to shoot it up, and he gets it to go. Nadir Myers has willed the Royals into an improbable 7-point lead with 35.4 left to go in this fourth quarter. And right now, the Fords are probably going to start to get into desperation mode here.
Yeah, and a culmination of a few things, just poor decision-making by the Fords on shot choices and that kind of thing. Upper Darby's played a great game this last fourth quarter.
Yeah, not much else you can really say. There really was, and it was kind of interesting getting into this game. I was looking at it while I was preparing for it, and this Upper Darby team, I was told too. I was told, listen, you got to look out for this Upper Darby team. They're really scrappy. They do a lot. They really hung in with that Lower Merion team, and I don't think the Fords thought they were better than Upper Darby, but I think the Fords just made too many mistakes to beat Upper Darby today.
Yeah, and mistakes are, that's what sports a lot of times are about. Who makes the least mistakes?
And so far, it's really been the Royals for much of this game. Another thing you could really say, some people will talk to the officiating, but if you really look at it, the Fords really lost too much. As Wiener will go and draw the foul, go to the line to shoot two here.
Yeah, Tommy, I think there's been some tough calls down the stretch that really didn't go in the favor of Haverford, and I'm sure that always hurts,
Petty with the foul call, or with the foul on Wiener. His first of the game. Wiener now to shoot two. 24.8 remaining in the fourth quarter. Wiener's first shot gets to fall. It'll be big here. Interesting to see maybe if the Fords you think the Fords will try to purposely miss this and then try to get a rebound on a three? As it does rim out. Wright gets the rebound, and he gets the layup to go. Tommy Wright makes the deficit only 4 now. Myers is going to give it over to Joyner. Joyner gets the layup to fall. The lead will be 6. The Royals are already starting to celebrate. As now Wiener gives it over to Bright. Bright's going to shoot a three. Rims off. Rebound by Yasir Joyner. And that'll be it. That'll be all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. As the Haverford students and faithful have a mass exodus from Younger Gymnasium as the Fords will drop this one to the Royals. The Royals will upset the number 1 ranked team in District 1.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting. The Fords got a couple big games coming up on their schedule. This will drop the Fords to 4-1 in the season, 1-1 in the Central League. And listen, it is the thing that is good about this loss, Brendan, is that it is very early in the season, and this could be a wake-up call. Maybe the Fords were in a little bit of a honeymoon phase after that Lower Merion game, and this should wake them up.
Yeah, Tommy, the good news is this isn't college football. You can have a few losses and still get to the dance, and everything's going to be okay. You got to have a learning experience. You got to take a loss in basketball to learn from your mistakes.
As that'll be all she wrote here from Younger Gymnasium. The final score, the Upper Darby Royals 64, the Haverford Fords 56. Fords drop a tough one here. They will go over to Folsom and play the Ridley Green Raiders. And then they will go up to Glen Mills and play what was an undefeated Garnet Valley team. They did play Lower Merion tonight. It'll be interesting to see how the Central League shapes up now with the Fords being upset here and those two heavyweights playing each other. But it'll be they have a tough Ridley team. They got to go for a long bus ride for, and then they got to go and play a very good Garnet Valley team that always gives the Fords a fight no matter what the sport is.
Yeah, no doubt, and the Fords have to look forward to some of the tougher games in their schedule and hope to learn from their mistakes they made tonight.
Our next broadcast for boys basketball will be the Younger Classic. Brendan, you will not be with me for those two broadcasts. So
I will not. So
you will be down in the Sunshine State.
Yeah, down in Florida.
Down in Florida, enjoying the great weather. You know what? Happy holidays to everybody. We will not see you until after Christmas, and Hanukkah will be basically wrapped up by that point. So anybody who is celebrating the respective holidays, happy holidays to you. But Haverford Sports Media will be back tomorrow morning bright and early. Haverford Invitational for cheerleading. Be sure to tune in or come in the Younger Gymnasium. For Haverford Sports Media, I am Tommy Toohill, along with my great friend, Brendan McNichol. That's all we'll have today. We're signing off, and as always, roll force.
I haven't touched this in 6 months. And look where it's gotten us. We're in the hole. We're losing games. Jimmy, this is your fault.
Jimmy, it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad, Jimmy.
It's bad.
It's bad.
I have other